Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you guys so very much for spending some time with me today and watching this video. This is going to be my group reading in celebration of Labor Day. Now, many countries celebrate Labor Day. I know not every country does. However, in North America and many parts of Europe, you're looking at Labor Day being celebrated, well, different times of the year. In Canada and the US, Labor Day is usually the first Monday in September. So when I started to look at what readings I wanted to do in September, I looked at Labor Day and I thought of all the hard work that I've done and that my friends have done, and how we need to reflect on it and, well, move forward from it, inspire ourselves and others. I couldn't think of a better time to do some reflection on all that we've achieved and all those amazing abundances that we have in our lives, and then also how we can move forward from it. So I created this spread to do just that, some reflection and looking forward and planning. It's a 7-card spread. And I know that sometimes when you get that higher number of cards, people get more anxious. Just take it one card at a time, and things start to come together in that reading. Like always, I have a link below to this spread so that you can access it as you need and in the future. The deck I chose for this reading was the Neo Rider Tarot Collection. Couldn't think of a better labor of love than what the original Rider-Waite would have been. And then to add the added detail and extra time that the Wheel of Fortune Tarot, who are the creators of this deck, put in. The added detail, the color improvements. This labor has been intensive. This deck has taken, well, hundreds of years to create. So when you're looking at a labor of love, I think we've got it covered here. Like always, I will have a link below to the Neo Rider-Waite deck, so if it speaks to you, you can go check it out for yourselves. Now the selections I have this week, my friends, I've got clear quartz, rose quartz, and then I have tiger iron. I want you to select whichever crystal resonates with you the most right now. Then go in the description box below and click on the correlating timestamp to that crystal. It will take you straight to your reading, and I will see you there. Hello and welcome, my clear quartz friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full deck of the tarot cards here, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's get into this Labor Day reading. So obviously we're going to start off on question 1. How has my clear quartz friends' hard work paid off for them? The 5 of Swords. We're looking at some conflict resolution, or at least living through that conflict. Learning and experiencing what you can and have. The 5s are always a conflict number. That sword is about truth and knowledge. Depending on your path, you have been able to derive different levels of knowledge regarding situations, events, and people. That has helped you to understand your world, expectations, and help you succeed in areas that may have been more challenging for others. Others may find that they have great conflict resolution skills. Important skills to have, as people have differing skills, abilities, expectations, and of course demands. The ability to rise above this conflict is very essential as we go forward. Being able to ascertain the information that you need about the situation so that you are able to make better and high vibrational decisions for you. Going on to question 2. What achievements have my clear quartz friends, that one tried to hit the floor, have my clear quartz friends made in their lives? The 8 of Wands. 8s are about movement and manifestation. That wand is that passion base. Many of us have been able to take our passions and incorporate it in some elements of our lives. Those individuals who've been able to incorporate more of their passions into their everyday are finding that their work is paying off. It's more abundant and more fulfilling for them. Individuals who are lacking that fulfillment are lacking that connection to that passion source. The more you're able to connect into your passions, the more you're going to find that fulfillment, that meaning, and of course that abundance. When you combine that with that negotiation or conflict resolution skills, or even the knowledge of how to deal with people, you're going to find that things work out. Things seem to make sense to you, while it may not make sense to others. It's a very differing situation. However, at the end of the day, the more connected you are to that knowledge about people and your passions, we know we're leading straight to that abundance, to that fulfillment and that meaning. On to question 3. How has my clear quartz friends' hard work supported those around them? The world. It's been providing for them. It has been encouraging them forward. It has been giving them strength, support, and reassurance. People see us working hard, connecting in our passions, and overcoming challenges and adversities. It helps to strengthen them and encourage them. If you can do it, so can they. That inspiration is essential. Additionally, some of that support, some of that foundation that they are creating their lives from comes from your hard work. It helps to strengthen them and improve their outlook on what it is they're trying to achieve. Never downplay the importance of modeling lifestyles. When we are enjoying our lives, when things are maybe a challenge, but things are working out in the end, and you're getting that abundance, you're gaining that fulfillment and that meaning, your vibration is high. Life isn't supposed to just be handed to us. We do have to put that legwork in. And when we do, that shows others how they too could put that legwork in, overcome those challenges, incorporate their passions, finding that abundance and that fulfillment for them. Going on to question 4. How can my clear quartz friends work more efficiently in their lives? The Knight of Cups. Knights are that no fear energy. That go big or go home energy. And we need that go big or go home energy right now, because we need to feel able to incorporate our passions and our intuition into what we're doing. We're looking at that yin-yang aspect of creativity, that passion base with that intuitive base. When you have both aspects, you gain that fulfillment and that connection to what it is you're doing. When you do work just for work's sake, you miss out on opportunities, you miss out on that experience. Feels like a lemming, day in, day out, you do the same. If you don't have that fulfillment, we're missing that passion in what we're doing. When we don't gain that enlightenment, that connection and fulfillment, that enlightenment, that understanding of what we're doing and how it is impacting ourselves and others, that's when we're missing that intuitive piece, that connection to that higher vibrational source. It too adds to that passion and invigorates and inspires that passion forward, because we have better understanding, better connection in what we're trying to achieve. The Knight of Cups is encouraging us to take some of those risks. Now, it does not mean to quit your job and to stop life altogether. This Knight is slowly moving forward. Pamela Coleman Smith drew each Knight in varying stages of motion. This Knight is that kind of a sauntery walk, if you will. That slow, steady progression, that addition of passions into our everyday, that addition of creativity into our everyday, slow and steady, makes that progression. And that's what the Knight is encouraging us to do. We're not looking at the Knight of Swords. We're not running headlong into a storm. We're slowly making that progression. And that is how we're going to find that added fulfillment and, of course, that added abundance. How the Knight is encouraging you to be more efficient is to connect into that intuitive energy, our intuitive powers, to gain the guidance on how to incorporate that passion, that connection into your everyday at a slow, steady pace, so that you're able to make some changes and shifts that are maintainable, that are sustainable for you. On to question 5. How can my clear quartz friends bring in more abundance without adding extra demands in their lives? The Moon. The Moon is the 18th card in the Major Arcana, and it talks about those mysteries and the unknown. We need to have that connection in to that moon energy. It does offer that mystery of unknown and uncertainty with it. We're taught at young ages that the moon is scary because everything scary comes out at night. As you grow older, you realize that adage is not always correct. The moon in itself is a very nurturing and supportive energy. In tarot, when you see these little wibbly bits, these are called nods. They are gifts. The moon itself is a gift giver. That nurturing and support that very divine feminine energy is providing you. The moon is also a gatekeeper. That rite of passage. When we start to care for ourselves, respect ourselves, and most importantly, forgive ourselves, that's when we start to stand in our power more. We pass through that rite of passage. We stand tall in our powers and our abilities, and we're able to raise our vibration even higher. And when we do that, those possibilities are endless. We're seeing opportunities that we never saw before. Additionally, we also have the ability to manifest pieces into our lives. The higher our vibration, the more we're trusting in us and the universe to fulfill that request. Manifesting is literally asking for what you need or want, and then knowing that the universe will bring it to you when you need it most, and when your vibration and trust in it is high enough. That door will open. You will see it, and you will know how to embrace and incorporate whatever it is you ask for into your everyday. So that rite of passage is an essential one to be able to bring about further abundance into your life and every day. On to question 6. How can my clear quartz friends balance out their work-life demands? It's a foundational piece, right? That balance. The Three of Swords. Threes are about that expression and that growth. That sword, truth and knowledge. We need to release that pain, forgiving ourselves, release that pain, and heal ourselves from whatever heartache invoking situation, event that we're dealing with. An essential part of this will be forgiving ourselves. It's a hard aspect to do, however, an essential one. We hold that resentment to ourselves, and it can debilitate us from balancing out ourselves and truly embracing and enjoying what the universe and our day offers us. Forgiving of self can be a challenge, and it can be a hard place to try and figure out where to start. A number of weeks, possibly even months ago, I did a meditation with Archangel Zadkiel. And that's exactly what we looked at, was that forgiveness of self. In that meditation, you're looking at nurturing self, healing self, and forgiving self. We'll really hit both these cards. Help you with that rite of passage, help you connect into you, help you heal some of those pains. Bringing in that balanced foundation that's going to help support further growth and abundance in your everyday and in your life in general. And of course, I have a link below to my Archangel meditation playlist. You can go to that link and you can find Archangel Zadkiel. It's kind of probably in the middle-ish area. I keep adding more meditations. They're free, and you can access them as often and as frequent as you want. On to question 7. How can my clear quartz friends bring in more joy into their work-life balance? The Seven of Wands. Now, sevens are also a bit of a conflict card. Unlike the fives, where fives are all about that challenge and conflict, sevens can be that struggle. However, they're victorious. How we can bring in more joy into that balance and into our lives is by not giving up. Using that passion to drive you forward. Using that creativity and that inner flame to inspire you. It doesn't matter how hard that challenge may feel. Knowing that you have the skills and abilities to be able to overcome it. and then taking it on head on. Life is not just given to us. When things go our way, we miss out on a lot of opportunities and experiences because we're so distracted by what is happening, by that influx of whatever it is that we're looking at, how the universe is sliding things into position. We miss out on some of that experience. Experience doesn't always have to be a challenge. Experience is how we approach our day. If we approach our day from a high vibrational, excited energy, those challenges and obstacles, they diminish a bit because our vibration is higher. We can see how to overcome them, and we still have that ability to experience it. So you're able to take that knowledge that you were able to overcome something, achieve something, and have that connection to the abundance. It kind of reminds me of when people win the lottery, they don't have connection to that money. However, when people work really hard and they gain that success from what they've achieved, there's more of a connection to where that money came from. They spend it more wisely than what you would if you won the lottery. That's a perfect example of how sometimes we have to challenge ourselves and experience life rather than life being handed to us. There's very differing experiences in both. Most of us will not win the lottery because we wanted to experience life to its fullest. It may be hard to hear that when I say that we need to keep trudging forward and persevering. That's where we're going to gain that fulfillment, that joy, and that understanding more fully than should it just be handed to us. That work pays off in the end. I want to thank you guys so very much for spending some time with me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into that work experience, into your labor of love. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. There is so much more amazing coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight and healing is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you want to support me in making more videos and meditations, I have a Patreon page. And like other Patreon pages, I have lots of tiers and many perks, which of course includes free readings and healings for myself. However, I also include Patreon exclusive readings and healings just for my supporters. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my clear quartz friends. Hello and welcome, my rose quartz friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full deck here of the tarot cards, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's get into this Labor Day reading. So of course we're going to start off on question 1. How can my, jumpers, how has my rose quartz friends' hard work paid off for them? The Sun, the 19th card in the Major Arcana. How it's paid off? Well, happiness and joy, of course. Your hard work has definitely paid off. You have that abundance, that fulfillment, that joy that has brought out that happiness in your life and in your everyday. It's nice when hard work has paid off and you can see it in what's going on, what's happening for you and your family. Because your work doesn't only just pay off for you, but those around you as well. Sometimes it can be hard to see that sun because we're so caught up in sorrow and heartache, in fear and anger. Take some time, reflect in, and look at that joy. What's bringing you happiness? Because even in the darkest of days, there is happiness to be found. But moreover, that hard work has very clear and defined joy and happiness with it. On to the second question. What achievements has my rose quartz friends made in their lives? Okay, sometimes the cards seem a little darker than they should be. Got another major arcana here, the 13th card, Death. That achievement is the release. Not that you're killing things, it's not that you're a murderer. Although if you're a gardener like me, sometimes you wonder. But it's that release. That is your biggest achievement right now, is being able to release those pieces and aspects that are holding you back, that are causing you pain, causing that fear. They serve nothing for you. However, that work, that happiness, that joy, that's for your greater good. This is a fantastic achievement and can easily be overlooked. Because most of us don't go, oh, what did I release today? However, when you do start to look at that movement and that work, you do realize the shifts and changes you've made. And I'm a big supporter of those small, progressive shifts that cause sustainable change. They're the easiest to miss because we don't realize that we've started to release and walk away from some of that low vibrational stuckness. We're focused in on that happiness and joy. It's not till days, weeks, months later when you go, well, wait a minute, I don't have to do those same coping mechanisms. They're an automatic response now. So that release is your greatest achievement, and it's a fantastic one to have as part of that hard work mandate and epic. So let's go on to question 3. How has my rose quartz friends' hard work supported those around them? Like I said before, this is not just a solitary piece. We don't live in a bubble. We're connected and we impact each other. The Six of Wands. Sixes themselves in tarot are about balance and harmony. The Six of Wands talks about that achievement, that victory. Wands are about passion and that inner flame, that inner willpower we have. Our dedication and our determination for focusing in on that joy and love, releasing that crap we don't need, has supported us to not only feel victorious, but it's inspired those around us. If you look at this card, he's got his head held up high and he's got this beautiful wreath and he's victorious. He's conquered his challenge. There's people beside him cheering and encouraging him on. They're witnessing his amazing progression and progress, inspiring them and encouraging them to get on their horse, take the reins, and take on that adventure. Being active participants in their lives and embracing the warmth of the sun. Never downplay that modeling effect. We sometimes have the biggest impact on people when we don't even know it. They're watching us, they're being inspired, and they're seeing where we're stumbling. They'll be able to sidestep some of our stumbles, just as we're going to be able to watch them, and where they struggle, we may be able to sidestep that same struggle. That peer support, that connection is invaluable when we're looking at this journey, our lifetime, and the lifetimes that we've led before. On to question 4. How can my rose quartz friends work more efficiently in their lives? To be honest, that efficiency sometimes is very much needed. There's only 24 hours in the day. The Two of Swords. Twos are about duality and choice. That sword, we're looking at that truth and knowledge. We need to calm our mind, calm ourselves, center ourselves, ground ourselves, and make those hard decisions. We are the only ones that can determine that outcome, determine our course. How we're going to work more efficiently is by continuing to cut away some of this fluffy baggage we're carrying. Our ego has puffed and fluffed itself up. It's attracted low vibrational energy that has slowed us down. It's time to take that sword of truth and knowledge, that courage and determination, and cut away more of what is holding us back. We're going to find that we're expending less energy when we're not being slowed down by our ego and that baggage. On to question 5. How can my rose quartz friends bring in more abundance without adding extra demands on their lives? The Four of Cups. Fours are about foundation and stability. That cup, intuition, emotion. The Four of Cups talks about a life that we've created. We've lived through a lot. And the biggest part is that we're missing an aspect. It's a key aspect that the universe keeps trying to hand us. When we start to grasp hold of this holy grail, incorporating it into our lives and our everyday, that's when we're going to find even further and grander abundance. The universe likes to reward us for doing things that are in our life's plan, in that journey that we signed up for, helping us to further that experience. The universe, the high vibrational beings, they know what we signed up for. Part of that experience is this mystery of what our life was supposed to be. They hand us pieces, elements that are essential, that will help us and support us in determining what it is we're supposed to be doing. So when the universe rewards us, it's through that abundance. And it's abundance on all aspects of our lives, including that financial piece. On to question 6. How can my rose quartz friends balance out their work-life demands? Oh, the question of the century, I think. the Ten of Swords. We need to release more of what's not serving us. That pain, that heartache, that fear that has been, well, stabbed into us. Past events and situations have occurred. Rather than taking that knowledge and moving forward, we've attached emotion to it. We're emotional beings. This emotion is emotions of low vibration. We've had situations and events that we've lived through that were of high vibration, that we've taken that knowledge and we enjoyed that energy. It doesn't hold us back. Rather, it inspires us to go forward. That energy, those events, don't hold us back. It's that low vibrational heartache and pain that holds us back. Part of our next journey or our next phase of our hard work, our labor of love, is going to be releasing some of these swords. Because these swords take up energy. They take up that time. They stop us from gaining that balance that we need within ourselves and within our lives. So that's the next phase of your journey. The next aspect that, yes, you will be victorious on, as long as you take it slow and steady. And then finally, how can my rose quartz friends bring in more joy into their work-life balance? The Knight of Swords. We have to get going. We have to get moving on this. Grasping that Holy Grail, and that Holy Grail, those aspects and pieces, will help you start to remove and heal some of these swords. Will help you release that pain and heartache and take that knowledge for what it is. Our next steps are going to be very clearly head-driven rather than that heart aspect. Critically thinking and analyzing situations, events, staying in that high vibration and making the decisions that are important and of high meaning for you, for your greater good. Additionally, this card reminds us to slow down. I know he's speeding up headlong into the storm, but we don't want to do that. We go too fast, we're going to be missing those amazing opportunities and guidances and wisdom that we need. Bring it back down in speed, but keep that sword drawn high. Learn from the experience. Learn from your everyday. And that knowledge is going to make this sun bright and shining, adding to that abundance and that fulfillment that we're looking for in our everyday. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful and you're able to gain some direction and guidance into your labor of love. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. There is so much more amazing coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this insight and healing is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page. And of course, like other Patreon pages, I've got lots of tiers and many perks, which of course would include free readings and healings for myself. However, I also have Patreon exclusive videos, just for my supporters. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my rose quartz friends. Hello and welcome, my Tiger Iron friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full deck of the tarot cards here, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what your labor of love wants to share. So, of course, I'm going to start off on question 1. How has my Tiger Iron friends' hard work paid off for them? The Ace of Wands. Now, the Ace of Wands always reminds me of that matchstick, just about to be struck and erupt. Wands are about that fire, that inner passion. The aces in tarot are about that gift. The Ace of Wands talks about that inspiration and excitement that we have regarding our passions and our lives, which of course includes that labor of love, all that hard work that we've so diligently been working on. That inspiration will continue to push us forward, opening up opportunities that are going to take us further, bring in more abundance and more fulfillment. When we have that inner fire stoked and erupting within us, things flow together. This is when you see that magic occur. Challenges dissolve in front of your eyes. You learn, you experience, and it invigorates you more, bringing that fire even higher. That courage, that determination, that willpower is erupting and driving you forward. On to question 2. What achievements has my Tiger Iron friends made in their lives? Death. I know that's a scary achievement, and no, I am not saying you guys are some sort of weird serial killers. This is the release. Death in itself in tarot does not talk about a physical death. We're looking at that release. When you release something, in a way, it is, I guess, dead to you. We don't need it anymore. We're focusing our energies, our time on high vibrational aspects and parts that are for our greater good. And then we start to release pieces that aren't serving us. So in a way, it does die. That's the theory behind the death card. We need to shift, grow, and evolve, which means we are moving away and allowing different aspects of ourselves to diminish and die. And that's what our hard work has paid off with. That is our achievement. We've been able to see some of that evolution and transformation, especially in the last 6 months to a year. We're looking at a nice progression. It's an ongoing evolution, and we will walk hand in hand with death throughout our journey. And that's okay. We need to be able to release what isn't working so we have more room for what will. On to question 3. How has my Tiger Iron friends' hard work supported those around them? You got to remember, we're not in a bubble. We don't live individually. We are connected in so many ways, and it's through that connection that we are able to impact those around us. The Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is the second most intuitive card in the deck. And she is also the everyday aspect of the most intuitive card in the deck, which happens to be the High Priestess. Major Arcanas are major archetypes of that energy. The Queen of Cups is the everyday aspect or embodiment of the High Priestess. We have inspired people to connect into their creativity and their intuition. And that's through that demonstration of connection with our passions, with our creativity. It's inspired them to start to work on their creativity, whether we know it or not. They're seeing what we're doing and they're taking notes and saying, this is what I want. I want that abundance. I want that release. I'm tired of being stuck. They see us taking our creations, our passions, and moving on and moving forward. Things are falling into place for us. So they're connecting into their creativity. And they're connecting into another aspect of creativity, that intuitive creativity. We're allowing that passion creativity to explode. They're tapping into their intuitive creativity that's giving them the guidance that they need. We inadvertently will still tap into the same intuitive creativity when we're allowing that passion-centered creativity to whoosh and explode. Because the two of them walk hand in hand. We're gaining guidance as we're allowing that inner passion to drive us forward. So it's through our passions that we're inspiring others to connect into their creativity and their intuition, which is giving them what they need to be successful in their journey. It's amazing how modeling and just even sharing with people what you're doing can inspire them. On to question 4. How can my tiger iron friends work more efficiently in their lives? It seems to be like the question of the millennia, right? Like, how can I do more in less time? The Ace of Swords. Whereas this is a gift of passion, this is a gift of knowledge. It's those aha moments that we have. Trusting in that wisdom and guidance of the universe. Like I said, we're getting that intuitive insight through other means. We need to trust that aha moment and incorporate these two aces together. In one hand having the wand, in another a sword. There is nothing that can stand in our way with knowledge and passion. Taking those two elements and incorporating them. It starts to intertwine, and you're seeing that you're not expending as much energy because you're listening to that guidance of the universe and you're sidestepping some major challenges that you don't need to take on. Yes, we need to take on some challenges in our lives. Without challenge, we start to get complacent. We get bored. Our minds, our souls, and our spirits are all about challenging and experiencing. However, we don't need to experience and challenge everything around us. That guidance helps us to get to the challenges that are going to be meaningful and fulfilling for us so that we are able to experience more and have more abundance in our lives because we're focusing in on what's truly important for us. Now, obviously, we do have double aces. When you have that multiple one, the angels are telling you to believe in yourself and your abilities. to also be mindful of that energy that you're putting out, because you're going to attract that same energy back to you. If it's passion and knowledge that you're putting out, that's exactly what you're going to get back in. If you start to second guess yourself, question your passions, question your abilities, you're going to get that unstable energy back, which will destabilize you more, causing stagnation, which of course brings in that fear and heartache. On to question 5. How can my tiger iron friends bring in more abundance without adding the demands in their lives? Sorry. We are going for all the aces now. The Ace of Cups. The Holy Grail. Adds to that angel message of believing in self, believing in abilities, and being mindful of that energy that we put out. Like I said, if we start to question our abilities, our skills, we project an unstable energy, which is reflected by those around us. The universe will also reflect that back to us. The law of karma becomes in play. However, when you trust in your knowledge, in your abilities, in that message and guidance, that creativity again, that's what's reflected back to you. That unconditional loving energy and happiness, of course, which also brings in that abundance, is reflected back. The more you're open to this passion, now we have that creative passion base, and we have that intuitive creativity on the table. When you trust in those, you trust in that guidance, you trust in that knowledge, you're going to see things fall into place. That abundance starts to flourish as you start to take these pieces in your hand and incorporate them into your everyday. On to question 6. How can my tiger iron friends balance out their work-life demands? Which I actually think may be the other question of the millennium. How do you balance yourself out? Ha, right on. My favorite page, the Page of Cups. He's wearing his amazing tunic. I am sad that they didn't keep with the light pink flowers, those lotuses, because it added that pop. He is a sassy energy. Pages themselves are that childlike energy. That cup, you're looking at that intuition and emotion. He has, in the original card, his lotuses kind of had a pink and white-ish color. That's the color scheme that Pam originally went with. It's hard to tell in the card itself because the printer couldn't pick up the variations of colors that she wanted. But that sassiness, that ownership, that's what we need. And most importantly, that flexibility. He's looking at that cup like, I so have that fish. It's in my cup. I am wearing this very fashionable fish hat, and it all works. My life is good. That flexibility, that sassy, goes a long way in bringing in that balance. When we're rigid and we're in that very kind of gurry, stoic energy, we miss out. We miss the big point of the situation. We're unable to balance ourselves, we're unable to ground ourselves because we're so caught up in our anger and our frustration. When we tap into that sassy, playful flexibility, that's when you can see that creative solution that's going to help overcome whatever life throws at us. Strengthens these amazing aces and adds that flair of ownership into the situation, and most importantly, adds ownership into our abilities and to who we are. And it's in that ownership that we're going to find that balance. And then on to the last question. How can my Tiger Iron friends bring in more joy into their work-life balance? Honestly, if you had that hat, you'd have more joy. That hat rocks. So one thing that Pamela Coleman Smith did is that she had some of the best hats on the pages and on some of the different cards. I'm thinking about the fez. Is that what? I can't remember if that's what it's called, but on the Seven of Swords, there's that really great hat. She was quite the hat person. Sorry, on to the last question. We have the Eight of Cups. So how you can bring in more joy into that work-life balance is understanding self. Through self-exploration, we're going to have a better ability to understand self, those skills, those abilities, and how we go about using our tools in our everyday. Helps us incorporate the wand, the sword, and the cup. That inner knowledge goes a long way in bringing in that balance. You're able to understand who you are and how you use your skills, your abilities, and those everyday tools to get the job done. That brings in balance and peace of mind. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain direction and insight into your labor of love. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There is so much more amazing coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing healing and insight is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page. And of course, like other Patreon pages, I've got lots of tiers and perks. And me being me, well, it has to be free readings and healings for you. Additionally, I also have Patreon exclusive readings and videos just for my supporters. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Tiger Iron friends,